Now, this is why it's actually important for people to stop being emotional and to actually understand bureaucracy and how government works. Because the governments actually rely on people not understanding this, and they are like predators on the sense of justice and morality that most people try to have. So, just so you can understand what happened here, imagine that the public is very concerned about the safety of children online. And so politicians begin passing laws against online grooming. And they will say something like it's illegal to send pornographic texts to minors online. And most people look at the law and they say, well, I mean, obviously, right? Legit, that's a good law. What happens is that people don't actually follow up to see how the law is being implemented. And what you often end up having is like a teenager, let's say a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old, has a girlfriend. And she sends a naked photo to him. He sends some spicy text to her. Shouldn't be a problem because in reality they're probably already having sex. Like they're over the age of 16. It's legal for them to hook up, to have relations, right? But if they do it over the phone, now they violate the law. And what happens is that, statistically speaking, at the bureaucrat level, they're committing the exact same category of crime that the grooming gangs are committing. It's a sex crime, right? And so, when you look at how the nation compiles the statistics, the people that pay the money for the compilation of statistics are the ones in the government. The ones in the government have political opinions, ambitions, and they also have like this institute called nudging. Like they're interested in nudging the population in a way so that they keep winning votes. And so they're not actually interested in the objective reality. They're interested in PR. They're interested in what the public sees and how to manage the public. And so these laws can actually be detrimental if they're not followed by the population to see how they're applied, if they're not written properly. Like, for example, obviously, a teenager that is violating a law that's meant to protect him as a teenager should not be held responsible. I mean, for example, we have Romeo and Juliet laws specifically designed because, well, the government understands that human beings that hit puberty are going to date with each other, and you don't want to lock up a 16-year-old over a law that's meant to protect them. Most nations understand this because when the laws were made, they were made by people that had good intentions. The current laws are made by people that have economic, political, and social incentives. And so obviously, they're going to be applied differently, and in some cases, if the government decides we're going to have mass migration in order to keep the prices of the housings up, in order to keep wages down, in order for us to be able to push some political correctness, they're not going to want to take accountability and responsibility for the bad things that come with it that can legitimize their political opponents. So again, like, everything makes sense when you think about it. This is like another thing that I've noticed now with the jihad on anime. Right, so like you have a law in Texas that is written extremely vague, and the sexualizing of minors in anime. So like even if it's not something pornographic, even if it's just like Dragon Ball and Bulma flashes her tits, it is vaguely written in order to actually be prosecuted. And so you end up with these prosecution cases where you do not know when you see a pedophile anymore. It's like, well, was he a weeb? Was he like a person that was into anime? Or was he someone that actually molested children? And it's done on purpose, right? Like, it's done in order to justify just how dangerous the online space is, just how much people need more safetyism, just how much the government has to step in. So, like, statistically speaking, you will see like a huge increase in online harm. While in reality, I definitely think that the internet is far more safer today than it used to be. Like back in the day, I remember if I was to Google Overwatch, the first result that I would see on Google, it was Mercy's tits. And it didn't ask me for my age. It didn't ask me anything. Like, you just see pornography on the internet from simple Google searches. Now it's a lot more restricted. Now it's a lot more out of the public eye. Like, on Twitter, for example, you can't see pornography unless you're looking for it. Like, it's very unlikely you're going to see it, right? And despite all that, the rhetoric is now that the internet is more dangerous than it has ever been. And the rhetoric is done specifically to justify more legislation so that the government can pass more measures in order to restrict people's freedoms and in order to cause hysteria. And what's interesting is, like, the hysteria never materializes, as I mentioned, in people actually trying to see, okay, the law was passed. Did it actually do what it was supposed to do? Like, has society become safer? How many cases have dropped since the law was passed? No one looks into this because everything is about emotions. Everything is about going on the internet to own the immoral person that's on the other side. And any type of rational conversation or rational discourse is just shut down by people that aren't interested in that, right? Like, they're interested in moral crusading. And this is where moral crusading leads to. This is the actual result of a very moral, very pious, very, how should I say, morality first oriented nation, right? So whenever you hear the idea, well, I mean, yes, the rape gangs, they're bad, but like English people, they commit crimes as well. Yeah, but like, statistically speaking, can you actually trust the statistics when they behave this way? Like, if a lot of teenagers that are sexting with each other are now being classified in the same statistics as actual gangs and criminals, you know, are the statistics reliable? Because, like, the statistics do exactly what they are set up to do. They count the sex offenders. But if they're not, like, which sex offenders? Like, what exactly did they do? Like, can we have a separate category for, like, the serious cases that are genuinely making the neighborhood unsafe versus the cases that are, you know, immoral or obscenity crimes? This is exactly the tactic that feminists used back in the day. Back in the day, they would say 1 out of 5 women is getting raped on campuses. And you'd stop and think, like, hold on a little bit. Like, people, like, if this was the case, and you would look at the faces of the people in campuses, like, you would see the horror, right? Like, you would see the 20-yard stare. Like, you would see, like, those women are coming from a war zone in the Congo. But in reality, it wasn't like that. Like, women on campuses could walk alone at night. They seem very relaxed, right? Like, they seem very posh. So what was going on? Well, when you actually read the statistic, it said 1 out of 5 women was raped or assaulted. And then you'd look at what assault means. And assault meant catcalling, wolf whistling, right? And so the statistic was made by talking to women at campus, and they would ask them, like, have you ever been catcalled? Have you ever been wolf whistled? And if they answered yes, oh, well, it goes into the 1 in 5 statistic. So again, like, the statistics aren't lying. There's no conspiracy theory. It's just that no one actually reads how they're made. And the reason people don't read is because the media reports on them. And so, like, people read about the statistic in the BBC, but they don't actually get to see what were the definitions that the academics used, how was it done, right? And so people genuinely believe that, okay, well, 1 in 5 women may actually be raped. And so you actually notice an increase in the definition of sex offenses recently, especially in the UK. So, like, now using AI in order to put a woman in a bikini can land you into this category. And it's like, look, I understand that there is, like, a social danger into putting a woman in a bikini using Grok. But is it the exact same social danger as a criminal element, a gang, that operates in a neighborhood, kidnapping women and forcing them into prostitution? Like, can we even compare these two things? And if not, why are you trying to mislead the public? The reason is because, well, they want the public to demand more safetyism. And safetyism leads to less accountability for the politicians. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.